Welcome again to the F3 podcast, where we discuss all things pertaining to faith, family, and finances. And remember, no subject is off limits, as you can see today. We are your hosts. I am Dr. Lionel M. Blair, Sr., and I'm sitting next to my lovely, gorgeous, perfect. Look at her, how gorgeous she is. Perfect wife, the sainted mother herself, the sainted mother,
Lord have mercy.
the mother of all mothers,
Oh my
the
God.
queen mother, the sainted queen mother, the queen sainted mother. Which one? Sainted queen mother or queen
Oh
sainted
Lord.
queen mother or queen sainted mother?
I'll let you decide.
Okay. Dr. Jasmine Blair, we got a good one for you today.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for the F3 podcast. If this is your first time with us, listen, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we premiere a new episode.
Every time.
And for our audio listeners, be sure to subscribe as well on your mobile device, and you'll get pushed episodes every time we premiere or release a new episode. Check out the description
Yes.
box and the show notes for links to some of our other
Yes.
products, services, and books and things that we offer. You'll also find out how you can support the podcast and suggest a topic. If you've got a topic suggestion, a question, because some of these churches, they don't let you ask questions. You're rebellious for asking a question.
Right.
So if you got that one question you always wanted to ask, but you were scared to ask because you didn't want to get in trouble, hit that link and send us a voicemail.
Yeah.
Ask us the question. We'll go ahead and answer it here for you. That way you get the answer you need without getting in trouble.
I want to hear from you.
So this is a very, very good topic. We saw this in the news a few weeks ago. So I just want to read a little bit, and I'm going to actually drop this article in the description and the show notes so you guys can read it and check it out yourselves. I won't read the whole thing, but this was dated May 17th, that the Pentagon officially testifies at first public hearing, UFO hearing, in more than 50 years. So this was a real thing. This wasn't as happening. It kind of happened. So it says a House panel held the first public congressional hearing on unidentified flying objects in more than half a century on Tuesday, with top Pentagon officials saying the number of unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP, reported by pilots and service members had grown to about 400. Under Secretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security, Ronald Moultrie, and Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence Scott Bray testified before a House subcommittee about how the Defense Department is organizing reports on UAPs after a congressionally mandated report released last year found most of the incidents analyzed remain unidentified. So this is a real thing. A bunch of government people, and I'm paraphrasing, got together, and then now they're having this conversation. Now they're putting these reports together because they've got these things flying that they don't really know what it is, and the amount is growing. So this is a real thing. A lot of people in the church was real nervous, real scared. Everybody hollering about the end times. But let's talk about this because, an unidentified flying object can be anything.
Right.
It can be something from way out where, or it could be a balloon that they didn't know what it was. But it's growing. So this is something that's becoming too big to ignore. And I saw on social media, the dialogue was going on, pastors, y'all ready? Church, y'all ready? People going to come in wanting questions. Yeah. So I just want to put out there, because we've been talking about the progression of ministry and the progression of, reaching people, and why some people aren't interested in the church.
Right.
And I know in our private conversation, we've talked about how you have some church say, oh, we don't teach that. We don't talk about that here. We're entering a phase. Hear me. We've already been entering it. But if pastors, if you're still on the old way, let me explain something to you. In 2022 and beyond, no longer can you ignore stuff.
Right.
People are not slow. Everybody has access to the internet. These next Three, 4 generations coming up are going to be some of the most educated generations that we've seen in a long time. Everybody's going to college now. Everybody's learning how to start a business. Everybody's on the internet. Everybody has access to Google and all these different things, podcasts such as this one and several others. You can no longer just dismiss stuff because it makes you uncomfortable or you're not ready to deal with it or because it's not in the Bible. People are wanting answers, and you cannot sit on your high horse and say, well, I've been a pastor for 50 years and we've been bringing souls to Christ for 50 years and we've never had to worry about that. This is the day and age you're going to have to worry about it. And this is why people need to pick their successors carefully.
Yeah.
When stuff starts hitting the scene like this, that you don't want to talk about, that you're not ready for, that you never had conversations about, that you haven't fasted, prayed, and studied about, and you're not interested in discussing, it might be time for you to go ahead and bring in a new succession of leadership that has been equipped, that's a David of the generation, a Daniel of the generation, that can competently and skilled with natural knowledge and wisdom, as well as the wisdom and knowledge of God, that can discuss these types of things. Because what's going to happen is people are going to start leaving. People are going to not be interested, not because you can't preach, pray, and prophesy, but because there are real issues being discussed in society today that you are unwilling or unable to have the conversation about. And this is one of them, because this was a whole thing. I'm sure you can find parts of it on the internet and watch parts of it and discuss it. You can't keep telling people we're just not going to talk about this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Well, we don't talk about this here. Why? If they're talking about it, see, the church is supposed to be an answer. We're supposed to be a pivotal part of these conversations. Yeah. We're supposed to be an agent of change. We can't keep preaching the 7 Mountain Mandate and then there's places we don't want to go mandate.
That's right.
You've got to get to a place where you're ready to have these conversations and you're ready to do some more research. So with that being said, I'm going to kick this over to you to talk a little bit about this.
Well, here's the thing. The first thing we got to understand is that it's declassified now.
It's open.
And these little area phenomena's been happening for years. And they probably have hundreds upon hundreds of encounters already. All right. So this is not something that we can just sweep under the rug.
That's right.
So a lot of people are going to question, how does this affect my faith?
That part.
Okay. If UFOs is a real thing, first of all, we got to understand that, because see, these things are highly technologically advanced.
Yeah.
From the maneuvers and stuff like that. So that's a level of technology, okay, that we don't have yet, that we probably trying to perfect. Okay. But so if you have these technological things, okay, somebody is on the inside of that thing flying it. Someone or something is flying that thing,
either from the inside or remotely from somewhere else.
Yeah, some organic entity, okay, it is piloting that thing, and that's something we got to come to grips with. And it most likely ain't human. Okay,
oops,
it ain't human. You know, ain't no human flying that thing like that. And then the speed that it goes, you think a human body can handle that kind of speed? You think we don't have that kind of technology yet to where a human body can go at that speed like that and not be affected.
We all thought we was going to be in the age of the Jetsons by now.
Right. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Which a such age like that is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I speak this as an apostle and a prophet of God. Okay, there was one time I was translated to the future. I saw technology and things that's getting ready to come on the scene. They've been developing it for years. Okay, and the things that I saw were things that I saw in movies. I've had dreams and visitations from God about this kind of stuff. okay, that's coming down the pipeline. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like the old way ain't gonna be. That's why I keep saying the old way ain't working, and it ain't gonna work for a lot of you. Okay, because we're getting ready to enter into a very highly technological age and a space age. Why you think Donald Trump created the Space Force in the first place? He knows something.
See, y'all thought he was tripping. He crazy, regardless of how you feel about him. But I mean, this is a real thing that happened. I mean, this article is dated it was updated May the 17th. So by CBS News. So this is a real discussion that is being had.
Yeah, yeah. This is a real thing. So this is why they have a Space Force. This is why they have, other committees in place. Okay, because they're preparing for this stuff. And we're not going to get into some of the other deeper classified stuff that we have seen.
And even if you're listening to this and say, oh, well, that can't be real. It can't be some organic matter or non-human thing. We still don't know what these things are. So somebody's got to be working long enough to find out what these things are. If it's not something from somewhere else, if it's not something straight, what is it and who's behind it and why?
And some people love to say, oh, it's demons. Demons are disembodied spirits. Okay, demons don't have a body.
Demon gonna be flying? See,
a demon is not, and so some people say, well, they're fallen angels and all this other stuff. But I do have a theory.
Okay,
I do have a theory, and some of y'all may agree, some of you may not agree, some of you may have an aha moment, like, oh my God, I never saw like that. In the beginning, the Bible says God created the heavens and the earth.
With an S on the end.
Heavens. That means that all out there is different dimensions out there, right? He created the heavens and the earth, right? Now in Hebrews 11, it says, by faith we understand that the worlds
with an S.
Worlds were framed by the word of God, right? So in the beginning, when God created the heavens, he created worlds. Worlds were meant to be inhabited.
Yeah. And they're still finding new planets.
Yeah, they're finding exoplanets almost every month now. Exoplanets and planets in other galaxies that are inhabitable zones that can host life. So to at this point, with everything that's being revealed, to think that we are alone in the universe is not logical. Okay, to think that we are alone in the universe, we're not. See, we may be the ones made in the image and likeness of God, but we're not the only ones God created. Okay, we're not the only ones God created. There were other worlds outside of planet Earth that God created. The Bible says it. So what's on them worlds? Surely all of them are not dead planets,
right?
And honestly, I don't believe in dead planets. I don't think that was God's original intent. I think the fall of the fall of Adam affected Earth and the cosmos. It caused a chain reaction of sin and death. Because see, if you read the Bible, there are creatures with eyes on their wings and stuff. Those are real creatures that God made. Four faces and stuff like that. Listen. Where do you think the patent for the animals of the earth came from? It came from heaven. It came from what he created in heaven already. Okay, so when he made the beasts of the field, okay, and the fowls of the air and all that, it was after the prototype of what he already created in heaven. I know I'm getting deep with y'all, but that's okay. This is just who I am. All right. So in the beginning, and I'm talking about even pre-Adamic. I'm talking pre-Adamic, because we're not even gonna get on the fact that the Bible does prove that there was a pre-Adamic race. I can only imagine the things that they saw. Okay, before God had to flood the earth. Because Noah's flood wasn't the first flood. Read Genesis 1. Anyway, so So with God creating other worlds, there were other creatures to inhabit those worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And their bodies are built differently so they can handle certain conditions of certain planets.
The atmosphere, the air, the pressure, all that would be different. It's no different when NASA goes to Mars or some of these other places, and they have to wear these suits. Why? Because our bodies aren't made to withstand certain environments and pressures and the air composition. So in these different worlds, these things have to be made to be able to sustain life there.
Yeah, exactly. So you look at how Lucifer was built. He had all kinds of diamonds and stones
And pipes and
and
organs in
gold
his
and
body.
pipes in his body. He was built differently. So his body could handle a certain kind of atmosphere.
Mm.
But human beings, we need to live in a habitable zone. We need to live in a habitable zone in order to survive. We need oxygen. Okay. Okay, we can't go on Mars and breathe Mars atmosphere. We'll die the first second we breathe it. You understand that? So God, there were other worlds that God created. So he created other worlds for other creatures he created. Other beings he created. The human race is not the only race God created. It's just the only race that's made in his image and likeness. That's it. And okay,
You can mess some folks up right there.
yeah, but we have to reconcile this with our faith. We have to
Mhm.
because God created everything. There's no life outside of God.
Mm.
There's no life outside of God. So if there's no life outside of God, come on now, then guess what? God created everything.
Now, here's what's interesting too. You know, in Genesis, where it talks about how the sons of God slept with the daughters of men.
Come on.
Why is it possible? And this is a theory. Is it possible that when the sons of God came down to earth, they didn't all come to earth? Is it possible some of them went to some of these other planets that are now dead planets or dead stars?
Come on.
We don't really know.
Come on. And to add to that, when Lucifer fell,
Mm-hmm.
oh, happy day, happy day.
This ain't church as usual.
When Lucifer fell, okay, first of all, he took a third of the angels. First of all, the Bible tells us that the amount of angels can't even be numbered.
Mm.
There's a numerable company of angels. Okay, and these were fallen angels by this time, right? When they were being kicked out, they were fallen. Okay, if all the if all the angels that fell based upon the numerology of this thing, if all the angels fell, I mean the earth probably would have exploded if all of them fell on the earth. I believe a large group of them fell to the earth, and then the rest of them were scattered throughout the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
Now they were scattered throughout the cosmos, even during the time uh, after God created the worlds.
Mm.
Because remember, even if you read in Enoch, the Watchers came, right? The Watchers came, and this was and the Watchers incident was after the fallen angels. That's not the same event. So there's a history of otherworldly beings coming to Earth and teaching mankind stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? And the Watchers taught stuff that mankind wasn't ready for.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen the movie Eternals? That was prophetic. Okay. So the other beings fell, I believe, and they were scattered throughout the cosmos, and they probably corrupted some of these other civilizations too. And then some of them might have already stayed true to God. We really don't know fully unless God gives us insight and revelation. Okay, so 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 first of all, we have to get over the fact that there are beings out there in space, and I believe there's some beings hidden on the earth. Come on now, these flying objects have been seen going underwater.
Mm.
Where they going? Where they going? And we're not going to talk about Antarctica. Okay, there's a reason why. Okay, most of Antarctica cannot be explored
For now.
for now. Okay, and there have been reports of a whole lot of UFO activity, allegedly in Antarctica. I'm talking about the silver discs and all that been seen, and it is alleged. And I ain't gonna tell you where I get this information from, but it is alleged that there's a big old hole in the middle of Antarctica that goes into the earth. Makes you think about Kong versus Godzilla.
Signs that make you wonder.
Signs that make you wonder, right? And a lot of stuff they put in these movies.
Right.
They put it in these movies because they're trying, before they fully disclose it, they're trying to condition you for it. You know, and I don't even believe it's not that the governmental agencies don't want to really disclose this. They know the American public ain't ready for this.
Yeah, nobody wants to cause a public hysteria.
Yeah.
It rained the wrong way. Y'all go to the store and buy everything.
Right. You know,
wind blow, buy up all the bread and milk.
Humans can get crazy sometimes. Shoot, they'll start erecting shrines and stuff to these beings and stuff. Man, listen, they'll start becoming fanatics. They'll probably start UFO churches. Okay, they start UFO churches. You know, they already got a naked church down here in somewhere in Virginia somewhere.
Oh my gosh!
Yes,
I think I saw that article. Is that the one where the snake bit the pastor and the pastor died? Oh, that's a different.
That's a snake handling church.
Oh, that's a different church.
You know, that's that extreme demonic Pentecostalism. Okay, but they handle snakes and stuff. Man, listen. You know, but yeah, they got a naked church. You know, where everybody come to church and they get butt naked, take the clothes off, and they hear the word.
That's like that reminds you of that period where all those people in Corinth got converted, and then Paul had to get on them about all the sexual stuff they was doing. That's some weird stuff.
Exactly.
That's like false God worship. Like, what the world?
Yeah, buddy, I ain't stripping down for nobody nowhere.
That's
okay. We got some. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, so humans are crazy. All right, and extreme. So they're trying to ease stuff on it, and some stuff they just really just trying to keep for themselves for control purposes.
Absolutely.
For control purposes. There's been alleged that governmental off branches and agencies and things like that have had contact with these beings and are working with them. Allegedly. But see, now y'all thought all the conspiracy theories concerning UFOs were crazy. And now, thanks to President Donald Trump, thank you, sir, all the UFO stuff have been declassified. And this is the first time in 50 years that this has been discussed by Congress.
Openly, publicly.
Openly. You understand what I'm saying? And some of your politicians know this stuff. Okay, every president know this. Okay, they can't fully disclose everything, but they know it.
If you know, you know.
You understand? But the public do have a right to know. We do have a right to know, though.
Some of y'all don't want to know. Some of y'all we gonna pray for the rapture like none of this ever hit my ears.
Well, in the days of Noah, this is the days of Noah, y'all.
Every time something come out, but see, that's what we got to stop doing as a church, right? Every time something comes out or is brought to public discussion that we're not ready for, we're uncomfortable with, Jesus, come quick. Jesus, come quick. That's like an ostrich with his head in the sand mentality. That's stupid. Where is your faith? Where's your belief in the power of Jesus Christ? If every time something is brought up in the news that's unfamiliar, you running and praying for the rapture, you got it all wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I believe my theory and your theories are both right.
Well, we'll see.
I believe they're right.
These are theories, though, y'all.
These are theories,
Take it how you want to take it, but these are theories.
Yeah, these are theories, you know. And even if you look at the Egyptian hieroglyphs and stuff like that, man, you see, first of all, you see all kinds of technology they had back then.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole nother teaching right there.
Yeah, that's a class.
Because a lot of times God had to set man back a little bit because they got a little too ahead of themselves and they start trying to defy God.
Yeah, it's a whole class.
Yeah. But even on the Egyptian hieroglyphs, they have ships. They have ships. Okay, and even some of the old hieroglyphs of other nations, they have ships. I believe it's even some Native American hieroglyphs and things like that. There were ships.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the way the pyramids were built, you had to have some kind of technology to help you with
Ain't
that.
nobody dragged them bricks up there. That stuff was heavy.
Yeah. No. You have some extra technological and extraterrestrial help for that. I'm sorry.
Even the people in the world that study this stuff and all the ancient people that go down and dig in these caves and dig in these pyramids, every last one of them have said the same thing. There's no way a person could have done it. There's no way you can say that they had slaves. They've all said conclusively there is no way that a bunch of people could have done this without some type of extraterrestrial help.
Why you think God had to come down and tear down the Tower of Babel? Anyway, so yeah, and again, they could be fallen angels or advanced civilizations or both. Because remember, the history of these beings we don't fully know yet. We don't fully understand their history. And like I said, God created worlds. Worlds were meant to be inhabited.
Mm-hmm.
Worlds. So these civilizations went on for years, advancing, and growing. And of course, we went through our history and we've been advancing and growing and set back and advancing and growing. Okay. They're a lot more advanced than us because they probably don't have the hangups we got. Some of them were probably influenced negatively by the fallen angels, or maybe one of the watchers or whatever, and then some of them they didn't do that.
You start to see now why they didn't want Enoch in the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because had we all had this understanding of the watchers and the fallen angels, this wouldn't be as strange and far-fetched to people.
You'll be surprised what your government knows about this. Huh? I still wonder what's in the archives of the Vatican.
You took the words right out my mouth. Because there's a lot of old documents and things regarding our faith that we don't have access to.
Mm-hmm. Vatican stole it all and hid it.
Locked it up.
Yeah. But you'll be surprised at what your government knows. They know more than we do. Huh? See, for years, it's just been a conspiracy theory and a speculation.
But now they've had a public congressional hearing.
Now this stuff is starting to come out.
They can't ignore it anymore. If you look just a little bit, they've done so many documentaries on like the History Channel and different things. Like there've been so many documentaries, discussions, movies, docuseries. And like I said, everybody has access to the internet now. Everybody can find. It's not like before we had to go to the library and go look. So things are to a place. You have social media, people posting videos. There's too much proof to ignore it now.
Yeah.
And that's with anything now in this age of the internet, social media, people doing their own research. Certain things are not more prevalent than they used to be. It's just it's easier now that people have cell phones, people can post videos, post pictures. This plethora of information we have access to, though we've seen the bad from it, there's also good from it because they can't keep hiding and say, no, that's not true.
Right. Right. So now that it's coming out that they've been here the whole time, or they've been showing up the whole time. Now we got to go back to all the stories of abductions,
Mm-hmm.
experiments,
People disappearing, strange flying things in fields.
yeah, crop circles. You know, we got to rethink all that. And it says too that unexplained pregnancies came as a result of these encounters.
So now we've got to revisit all these people who have been called crazy.
Right.
How many people been locked up somewhere?
Yeah. I remember even Farrakhan said he had an encounter. so
And when
yeah.
I post this link, they've got little video. Like this is a cell phone clip that they put up here in this article. So I'm gonna make sure I post this in the description. That way you guys can see the article that I'm talking about if you choose to.
Yeah. And now they need to develop technology that can keep up with this. And which they said they're gonna start working on doing.
They already been working on it.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. They already been working on it.
First of all, they probably working with them. Some of them. Especially over there in Antarctica. Hello. Because I've heard the testimonies of people that have been over there and what they saw and what they were encouraged firmly by the government not to disclose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you have any closing remarks?
Ooh, UFOs. Ooh, it's scary. It's scary. Ooh. You know, I believe a lot surrounds this.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I don't think all of them are necessarily bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably neutral. But then I believe there's some that are wicked. You know, there based upon the encounters,
Mm-hmm.
they classify 3 classes of these beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had what they call the grays, right? So that's the typical one with the little beady eyes, the little weird shaped head, the little short gray ones, you know, the long arms, the one that we normally see. And then they have the reptilians.
Some that look like Godzilla's cousin.
You see what I'm saying? So they got like the little scales and stuff, you know, they look more reptilian. And then you have like the humanoid ones.
Mm-hmm.
The humanoid ones, you know, and it's alleged some of them are even at war with each other. You know, some of them are, you know, at war with each other, you know. And so you know, it's a lot to explore here. It's a lot to explore here, but it's not something that we can continue to ignore.
Right. And this is not the time to start running saying, Jesus, come quickly.
Or lose your faith.
It's not the time to lose your faith. This is not the time to be hiding somewhere scared and terrified. This is the time of all times to be more solid in your faith and to become unreligious in the sense of stop hiding your head in the sand every time something comes up. Well, that's strange fire. Everything is not strange fire. Y'all go to work, y'all go to college. Everything is not strange fire. This is the time to be educated and to use common sense. I don't like using that term, but to use common sense while still knowing who Jesus Christ is. So we're going to go ahead and conclude this episode here. Make sure you guys check that article out if you choose to, if you're comfortable with it, and stay tuned for more, because as they have more of these hearings and discussions, we're definitely going to be bringing it here on the show. So until next time on the F3 podcast, goodbye.